Pleasant good morning to one and all. Welcome to today's edition of To The Point. I'm your host, GT. Hope all is well with all our listeners and viewers this morning. And my apology for yesterday. You know, sometimes circumstances become uncontrollable and was unable to be here. So back with you this morning. I'll take you through. It's Opposition Tuesday here on the program today, folks. And I want to say good morning to those of you who are viewing via social media platforms. Good morning and welcome. Thank you so much. With us this morning, we have representing the opposition. We have, of course, the Honourable Minister. I always seem to forget her constituency for some reason. My bad on that. I hope she doesn't mind. Anyhow, let me say good morning to the Honourable Kate Skeeter Lewis. Good morning. Is it Skeeter Lewis Peters? I'm going to give her all the names that she possesses anyway. Let me say good morning to the Minister. Minister, good morning, and how are you?
Hi, good morning, GT, and good morning to all the viewers and listeners of the program this morning. A special good morning to the constituents of St. Andrew North East, GT. I'm the Member of Parliament, correction, not Minister, but Member of Parliament for St. Andrew North East.
My apologies for that this morning. But once again, and welcome. And I say happy. Well, last time we had a conversation was back in 2024. I don't think I have had you for the year thus far.
This is my first time for the year coming on.
All right. Let's get the conversation rolling this morning. Still a little bit of technical glitch with us in terms of getting you via the television, but audio is fine for now until we have that resolved. And so we hope we get that resolved shortly. And let's kick the conversation off this morning. It's 2025. Of course, the year have started with you having a new political leader, so forth of the new National Party. How has it been thus far for you and members of the NMP under the new, of course, political leader? Say good morning to you once again. Let's get the conversation rolling.
Yes, of course, we've started 2025 with a new political leader coming from our convention on December 15, 2024. And yes, we must recognize the hard work and efforts of our past political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. He has ensured that the party remains stable for over 40 years. The party was still a force to be reckoned with, and now we have transitioned into our first female political leader, the Honorable Emmeline Pear. And I can tell you, GT, from the get-go, it has been pace. We continue to work, we continue to engage our members, our supporters, and of course, a new leader, new ideas, new vision, new strategies, new style of leadership, and we welcome it all. We are excited, we are energized to get the work going.
How happy are you to have, of course, the Honourable MP, of course, being the political leader? You did mention that a while ago, but in terms of her style of leadership, how are you, of course, coming across with that particular transition?
Very good, because over the years working with my colleague Honorable Emmeline Pear, I've loved her style of leadership. She has been a leader for many years, not just because she assumed the role of political leader of our party, but over the years she has been very instrumental in leading many different forces, many different organizations. So I think her experience throughout the years would make it easier for that transition into leadership at the party level. What I would say, what I admire the most about her is her ability to be very organized, very strategic, and to get things going in a direction that we want to see.
All right, great. Now let's move on. Of course, you being, of course, represented for your constituency. I mean, there's always issues there, Van, and projects that you would like to see accomplished. Not your particular organization is not in the realm of being in control of the government part of things. How is things in your constituency? Let me three top issues currently affecting your constituency that you would like to see maybe a remedy come about on that nature.
Okay. For St. Andrew Northeast, let me first of all say that throughout the years, our NNP administration have consistently worked to empower the people within the constituency, work to improve communities, whether it be infrastructure development or people's development. As a party in administration, we have consistently worked to improve the constituency. One of the challenges I would speak about at first is that is is plaguing us at the national level, and as a result, we are feeling the pressure within the constituency. The lack of economic activities have really affected the small businesses within the community. When you go to the village shops, they would be complaining to you that they are not getting much business as they would have gotten in the past when we were in government. So as a result of that, it's affecting them. Some of them have considered closing down. Some of them have actually closed down, and some of them have to close in the day in search of other employment opportunities and then reopen at night. So the small businesses within the constituency are really feeling the pressure of the lack of economic activities throughout the country. A second problem is the lack of consultation in when things have to be done. And I'll give an example. This is something that every time I go to a particular community, that is Pearl St. Andrew, the residents, they would complain. There is a project undertaken by MIT. I've seen MIT posted it and indicated, something of a playground. And 100 feet across the airport, there was a playground that was started by myself under the new National Party administration. The area is secured. It is properly fenced. It's a green space close to the airplane. And we had monkey bars. We had swings there for the children. So the residents of Pulse are saying that an attempt to create a playground by the playing field, the area that is used there for that, is where they would sit, relax. Sometimes when they have cricket in the park, it would be a parking space. It is not a secured area. Vehicles in and out around that area there. So if they had only consulted, because they do not have any issue with creating a playground. They like that, the activities for the kids to be engaged and to have something to do in their spare time is very good, very important, but lack of consultation with the location is a problem that the residents have been speaking about. And thirdly, I would say that the rising cost of living, it's difficult. It's very difficult for the constituents because the cost of goods and services, it's so high that it's difficult for them to purchase what they need, their necessities. Remember, we had VAT on sugar, claiming that it's important so that we would reduce our sugar intake. But remember, sugar is used as a staple within the home. Everything you have, if you just brackish it with a little sugar, you can get a drink, you can get something for the kids. Or the people who do small business like the tamarind ball, the currant roll, these sorts of stuff, they use sugar. So it is a challenge for them, understanding that things are so high in terms of cost of living. The utility bills, the water, the electricity, it is difficult. And more what we are seeing is that the constituents are coming forward to the constituency, the parliamentary offices, for assistance in paying bills. Utilities have been cut off by the utility companies and so, and as a result, we find ourselves paying a lot of bills, helping resident constituents to pay a lot of bills. So these are some of the challenges that we face within the constituency of St. Andrew Northeast at this time.
How difficult is this for you to offer a remedy solution to some of these problems from your constituents? I understand of the plight for folks perceive that maybe that's happening all over the country. But how difficult is it for you, of course, with some of these issues that you have spoke about in terms of offering that assistance to the residents of the various constituents, and how difficult is it for you?
It is very difficult because while we do have a constituency allowance that we assist the constituents with, the amount is not so much, and then we are restricted in the kind of assistance. So when it comes to other assistance such as housing, such as infrastructure, they would call me and indicate, okay, the road is so bad, what can we do? And we refer them to the Ministry of Infrastructure, who is responsible for maintenance of the roads and so. And then when we refer them, there is no direct contact. We ourselves in the as members of the opposition, we have not had any direct contact with the relevant personnel in authority. We do send letters to the ministries. Unfortunately, we do not get timely feedback. In some cases, we don't get feedback at all. So we try our best to manage the allowance for constituents with the constituency allowances. But when it comes to major project, major development, not having a say, it is rather difficult to get these assistance to our people.
What difference would you like to see government do in terms of the issue that you spoke about, in offering that assistance that is the bulk of it is does not left upon you as the representative for the constituency? What difference would you like to see government do in terms of handling these issues?
First of all, I would like government to engage constituents more, have consultations with them before they undertake projects, before they do things that they think the constituents need. It's very important to consult them, hear from them. They know what is best for them. They have been living within the communities for years and they understand the challenges and they too know the solutions to those challenges. So more consultation with our people would help. Secondly, I would like to see government prioritize spending. So we have issues with cost of living. Inflation has been a problem over the years, and we have seen nothing done about it. All we have heard is just a world economic crisis, but we have to deal with our local situation, and we are not seeing government undertaking any serious policy or any serious measures to assist our people at the local level. So in terms of assistance, they should really try to, rather than making excuses about it's a world problem, look at ways in which government can assist to curb the issue of the rising cost of living for our people.
All right, of course, let's take a break, and when we come back, we continue more of the conversation. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We'll be right back after the short break. Don't touch it now.
Choice Promotions in association with Investment Migration Agency of Grenada, together with our Riser Credit Union, presents the inaugural Virgin Parish Relay Meet. This is the real mini Olympics, Saturday, March 8th, Lassages Playing Field in St. David. Relay action featuring the top clubs and schools from across Grenada, competing for cash prizes and more. Come see the nation's best athletes as they prepare for Intercall and Carifta Games 2025. First call to action is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, featuring live entertainment and excitement in the tug-of-war competition. Admission $10 adults, $5 children. Come to Virgin Parish, St. David on Saturday, March 8th for the Virgin Parish Relay Meet. Come share in the excitement and speed and see you there.
Grenada National Folk Group, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Economy and Culture, proudly presents Iconic Moves and Melodies.
Yes, man!
Iconic Moves and Melodies. A heartfelt tribute to the legendary Miss Shirley Robinson. Mark your calendar. Saturday, March 1st, 2025 at the Grenada Trade Center, starting at 5 p.m. Immerse yourself in an evening of vibrant folk songs, classical songs, Negro spirituals, patriotic songs, captivating poetry, and mesmerizing dance performances as we honor Miss Shirley Robinson, a true pioneer of Grenada's cultural heritage. You'll also get the chance to have a meet and greet with Miss Shirley Robinson. Tickets are just $50 for adults and $25 for children. Iconic Moves and Melodies, a celebration you don't want to miss. Join us Saturday, March 1st at the Grenada Trade Center. Let's honor the legacy, celebrate the culture, and make it a night to remember.
Attention all track and field fans, the race is on and history is being made. On Saturday, March 1st, the Kirani James Athletic Stadium comes alive yet again for the Charlie George Classic. We honor a true stalwart of Grenadian athletics, Mr. Charles A.R. George, the longest serving president of the Grenada Athletics Association. Watch the best of the best go head to head in sprints, distance races, field events, and thrilling relays with top clubs like 473 MVP, Ace, Fusion Athletics, Velocity Varsity Track Club, St. David's Track Blazers, and more. The excitement kicks off at 10 a.m., so be there early. Witness the speed, the strength, and the passion of Grenada's finest athletes. This is more than a meet. It's a legacy in motion. The Charlie George Classic, Saturday, March 1st. Be there.
Attention Grenadians, get ready for an exciting weekend of empowerment and inspiration under the theme Accelerating a Transformed NDC. Delegates, party members, and special invitees will partake in the NDC Convention 2025 from the March 2nd at the Happy Hill Secondary School. After the convention, everyone is invited to our sensational rally at the Bushes U playing field starting at 4 p.m. Be inspired by our distinguished guests. Hear from Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt of Dominica, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre of St. Lucia, and our very own political leader and Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, and more. Organize your transportation and walk with your flags, bandanas, drums, shells, whistles, and head down to Bushes U to be part of the transformation.
Cause I believe in the truth, and I just wanna live good.
Welcome back once again, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We're moving now to 25 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's Tuesday, the 25th, once again, and it's Opposition Tuesday here on the program. Let me say good morning again and welcome back, of course, to our guest this morning. Of course, the Honorable Kate Skidder-Lewis. Good morning to you, Kate, once again, and welcome back. I think we have that issue resolved in terms of the video part that has been resolved now. Good morning to you once again. I want to switch the conversation just a wee bit. I want to talk about youth issues. It's always been a passionate subject matter of yours. From time to time, you've been on the program with youth. I've always seen something that, of course, you seem to have a lot of passion and the development of youth in Grenada. You're certainly passionate about that. You being part of the past administration when you were in government, of course, you've been in that particular department, and of course, the love for youth is always something that you're about. No, youth and unemployment remains of course, a significant challenge here in Grenada. With the various policies and so forth that has been implemented and has not been implemented, what program do you believe could be to better support young people entering the workforce? Because we know a lot of young people have, left schools, may have obtained particular subject lines, and getting a job always seems to be a problem for them. Let's talk about that in terms of the policies and programs. Do you believe could better support? Maybe have not been implemented in, and of course, during your time of being in government, but your thought pattern along those lines. Let's hear from you as it relates to that.
Okay, well, as you said it correctly, youth development, youth empowerment has always been a passion of mine. Coming from being a teacher for over 17 years, having to develop young minds and instill, the right knowledge and attitude so that they can thrive when they finish school. The opportunity to serve young people is always at my pleasure. Must say, first of all, that I have been disappointed over the past 2.5 years, well, almost 3 years, that the current administration has not seriously implemented any programs to empower and uplift our young people. I know some people would have other things to say when it comes to that, but I would like for them to name one program that government has really developed. Our administration, while in office, prioritized youth empowerment to a level that every young person could have fit into a program, into a project, get towards their development. Once we have to empower young people, we must create programs and projects to help take them forward. Some of the things that we need to see happen: our young people, those who lack skills and skills development, they don't have those skills. We need to have robust skills training for our young people so that they can, once you have those skills developed, you can fit into the workplace. You can find a job easily. You can also create your own business. We heavily emphasize and invested in youth entrepreneurship. We had our youth biz department. This department, we had our youth biz support center. So we had a support center in St. Mark. As the current administration, what is the status of this center today? It is closed down. We also had one at the Simon Industrial Center in partnership with the GIDC. And these are some of the things you have to ensure that young people can find opportunities for youth entrepreneurship. So there have been no initiatives when it comes to support for young business people, young entrepreneurs, for the past 2.5 years. The Youth Biz program totally closed down, and we have not heard anything. While we have the Grenada Development Bank. The Grenada Development Bank, of course, helps small businesses and so, but we needed an organization that can focus directly on young people, giving them the opportunity to receive loans, receive grants, receive training and mentorship so that they can successfully operate their youth businesses. And we understood that fully well. So I would like to see that happen again, because we want to create individuals who do not have to depend on others for a job, but can create their own employment, can create employment for others as well. So youth entrepreneurship should be higher on the agenda of the administration so that young entrepreneurs can get that boost they need. So I spoke about the skills training. I spoke about we also, you see the new Imani program that we had, GT. We must look at some of the positive things that came out from it. Yes, we knew it had its challenges because it was a diversified program. It was a program serving all different young people from different background, different status. So it was a very dynamic program, and it created many benefits, many opportunities. I'm hearing that this program will be no more when the new budget reads, and my heart is saddened because I can think about the thousands of young people who benefited throughout the years. When you align young people with employers, it gives them an opportunity to find a job easier, job placements. They get the training, and then eventually they are taken into the job because of the experience gain and what they were doing. You're about to close down that, and what is the replacement program you're presenting to our young people? Will it have all the benefits that the young people enjoyed under this program? The opportunities for education advancement at universities locally, abroad, TAMCC, NULO, and so forth. These are the things we need to see our young people, the opportunities created for our young people so that they can be fully empowered. We always say the young people are the future. Well, we need to empower them properly so that they can be good citizens in the future.
No, there's been, of course, some programs that have been put out by government that were, of course, especially youth-led organizations within various communities. And they were asked to, submit their various proposals and so forth to get these programs running out in terms of the grant that will be offered. What's the feedback have you been getting, especially within your constituency, in terms of those particular programs that are led for, put out there, I should say, for community, especially youth-led organizations within the community? What sort of feedback have you been hearing in relation to that?
I haven't heard much about it. I'm not sure if the young people are aware. I'm not sure what mechanism is being used to engage young people so that they can develop the community-led programs and so. What I've seen via Facebook posting that the deadline was rescheduled, maybe because, again, young people have not shown the interest. So it sends a message that if you have a plan to get young people to develop their communities, and nothing is wrong with that, then there should be the method of engagement so that they can be aware, they can understand what is required of them. The method has to change, because if we have to reschedule the deadlines, it means that what they were looking for, they didn't get it at the first attempt.
Tell me about, of course, your thoughts, I would ask, of course, the recently youth parliament elections. Tell us your thoughts in relation to that.
GT, I've never really spoken publicly on that, but first of all, I would say, let me commend all the young people who showed interest, who took up the opportunity to be elected to run the race, run the campaign. It shows that young people are interested in their own development, and this is good. But an election like that, personally, I will declare it null and void. And I'm sorry for the young people. I would declare it null and void, and let me explain why. When you look at what we were doing under our administration, we had clear youth policies, and we were working on a youth participation bill. That bill was in its final draft to be approved by cabinet, coming out from the Ministry of Legal Affairs and so. In order to have young people advocate or to be members, youth parliamentarians, it has to be something that is according to the law. So a youth participation bill had to come first. We didn't see that happening. So, okay, you found our youth policy document and you decide to take parts of it. And the part you took, you left out the most important part, where the youth participation bill had to come to parliament first. So now you have young people who are elected youth parliamentarians to serve for 2 years, I understand. However, no bill came to Parliament to give them the authority to advocate in Parliament on behalf of other young people. So on that note, this is the reason why I declare something like that null and void, because there is no legal parameters giving them the authority to do so.
All right. Well, how do you think that young people in general, because we want to see young folks, the youngsters in Grenada today, male or female, get involved in governance and decision making processes. How do you think young people can be more effectively involved?
Okay, so I would say a twofold approach is important, where government comes in, as well as where the young people themselves create opportunities to be involved in the governance of a country. So as it relates to government, of course, have to create opportunities for young people to sit at a decision-making table, and not just by words, but also by actions. I remember prior to just during the last election, we heard that there would be young people sitting on several boards, maybe advisory boards, and so to the government. But when they actually won the election, when you saw the construct of the boards, there were very few. I'm not sure if there were any young people who were given that opportunity to serve on boards that provide advice to government and so. So that is a missed opportunity, I would say, by government, because that's one way you can get youth to participate in the governance structure. Another way, and we have done it, the youth parliament. We have young people debate at the parliament level on issues affecting them, issues affecting us as a country. When you get it from a youth perspective, because we are creating a future for them, it is important to get it from their own thoughts, their own understanding. But when it comes to young people, I would say they have to be advocates for what they believe is important to them. They need to use the social media platform where they can advocate for change that they want to see within the country. Not just use the social media platform to do other things, but use it as a advocating platform for changes and opportunities they would like to see. They can advocate for things that would benefit them as young people. They can also ensure that they are part of the voting process, the election process. Remember, when you elect a government, it has implications, it has consequences for you. And young people has to understand the importance of elections. They have to ensure that they are registered, and when an election is called, that they exercise their rights, their right to vote. What again I would like to see, and maybe from a government standpoint, to remove that fear of victimization from young people. Young people must have the freedom to speak up on issues that they feel is affecting them without having to fear being removed from a job, being removed from a program, or not even considered for a job or a program because they advocate on issues that they believe it will benefit them and their counterparts. So these are some of the things I believe, I'll say twofold: government as well as young people themselves playing a pivotal role to ensure to be part of the governing structure for our country.
I still want to keep our incentive a wee bit on the youth in Grenada today. What are those main areas of development you would like to see, the incentive that government can offer, especially for young people, to continue in the aid of national development? Young people is a pillar of society today, we will say that. The other ones that are driving the economy in some way or the other. What areas of incentive would you like to see government offer young people to incentivize them to do more and want to get involved? Sometimes we get the impression from young people that we don't want to be part of things for various reasons, some all for political reasons and stuff like that. But what are those areas you would like to see a government put more emphasis in and offer more incentive that would get young people want to be involved?
I've spoken about it. Youth entrepreneurship is a major area that I believe government need to assist with. So young people, remember, young people are innovators. They are creative. So they have ideas. But what they need is that mentorship support, that financial support, that training support. Once they get that, then you would see young people creating thriving businesses. We are in a digital economy, and government, and I say it's more than just words. Government created a whole department of creative affairs. But what have we heard? What have this department done to bring out the opportunities for young people, to young creatives to advance their craft? We haven't heard much. I heard about a workshop maybe when they just started, and that was it. It's like it was dead on arrival. But this is an opportunity where I believe government can relook and see how they can get young people to be more involved, to develop the job market is shifting because we are in a digital age. We can have more content creators, we can have people more involved in the digital industry, and government can tap into that area. Again, skills training for young people, reforming our education sector. This is something that I would advocate for when we return to office. We need to reform our education education sector. The old ways of doing things, the curriculum, it has to change. We need to ensure that young people can be trained from an early age. The primary, secondary level skills training has to be more intertwined in the school's curriculum, so that when young people finish school, they already have a skill at the level that they can be self-sufficient. So these are some of the ways I believe that we can empower our young people. If we place great emphasis there, young people will do much better.
We do for a break, but of course I want to ask you this. What do you believe is, we look around in various communities today, crime and so forth is becoming a problem in various communities. Communities need to promote more safer environment for especially young people, the elderly, especially. From your thought, what strategy do you think do you believe will be most effective, in addressing, especially as I spoke about before, crime and other areas that we could have better communities in Grenada, especially where young people are involved. I know I always have to say young people because I know you do have a passion for that. How do you think, what is that particular strategy that could be implemented to minimize the crime that we see young people getting themselves involved in for various reasons and so forth, that is hindering the growth of certain communities?
GT, yesterday I was looking at a GBN clip of a stabbing incident where one young man lost his life. And every life that we lose as a result of crime is one too many. And we have to do something about it. My concern is that when the leadership of this country says in a House of Parliament that it's just a matter of time before this level of crime reaches our shore, this is quite concerning. We have to take initiatives, proactive measures to prevent these situations from occurring. So I would suggest a multifaceted approach where government can be involved, community leaders can be involved, church leaders, religious leaders can be involved, the schools. We need everybody on board, and we have to understand that these issues, the issues of crime, you have to nip it at its source. So we know that high unemployment results in high crime. We know that high levels of poverty results in high crime rates. We know that a lack of engaging opportunities for young people, as we say, idle hands, idle minds, the devil's workshop. And these are the things we need to understand and deal with it at the source. So more opportunities have to be created for young people. For the past 2 years, young people were not engaged seriously enough. We had to call on government to relaunch the Empower program, and eventually they did. Yes, we heard about the launch, but we have not heard what the young men are involved in at this time. That is the only program they relaunched. The Youth Parliament continued, but the Youth Parliament caters to more youth professionals, young professionals who already have their jobs, and they are not the ones involved in the crime. The community projects, like Project Fly, we need to go back to the communities and initiate projects there. These young men at risk, young people at risk, we have to deal with them directly. We cannot just hold national projects and believe they will fit in. No, we have to deal with them at the community level if we want to reduce our crime rate. But secondly, let me say that we have to accept that there is a problem. We cannot continue to create excuses. We cannot continue to blame past administration. We have to accept that there is a problem and find creative ways to deal with it.
All right. Of course, we'll be right back after the break, folks. Stay with us. When we come back, we also will invite our listeners and viewers. If you do have a question or two or a contribution you want to make towards our conversation this morning, feel free to do so. Or we come back in the next segment. Stay with us, folks. Don't touch it dial.
In Grenada.
Right choice Choice Promotions in association with Investment Migration Agency of Grenada, together with our Riser Credit Union, presents the inaugural Virgin Parish Relay Meet. This is the Real Mini Olympics, Saturday, March 8th. La Sagesse Playing Field in St. David. Relay action featuring the top clubs and schools from across Grenada, competing for cash prizes and more. Come see the nation's best athletes as they prepare for Intercall and Carifta Games 2025. First call to action is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, featuring live entertainment and excitement in the tug-of-war competition. Admission $10 adults, $5 children. Come to Virgin Parish, St. David on Saturday, March 8th for the Virgin Parish Relay Meet. Come share in the excitement and speed and see you there.
Attention Grenadians, get ready for an exciting weekend of empowerment and inspiration under the theme Accelerating a Transformed NDC. Delegates, party members, and special invitees will partake in the NDC Convention 2025 Sunday, March 2nd at the Happy Hill Secondary School. After the convention, everyone is invited to our sensational rally at the Bushes U playing field starting at 4 p.m. Be inspired by our distinguished guests. Hear from Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt of Dominica, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre of St. Lucia, and our very own political leader and Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, and more. Organize your transportation and walk with your flags, bandanas, drums, shells, whistles, and head down to Bushes U to be part of the transformation.
Cause I believe in the truth, and I just wanna live good.
Every time I pass, you're teasing me. Every time I pass.
The Grenada National Folk Group, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Economy and Culture, proudly presents Iconic Moves and Melodies. Yes, man! Iconic Moves and Melodies. A heartfelt tribute to the legendary Miss Shirley Robinson. Mark your calendar. Saturday, March 1st, 2025 at the Grenada Trade Center, starting at 5 p.m. Immerse yourself in an evening of vibrant folk songs, classical songs, Negro spirituals, patriotic songs, captivating poetry, and mesmerizing dance performances as we honor Miss Shirley Robinson, a true pioneer of Grenada's cultural heritage. You'll also get the chance to have a meet and greet with Miss Shirley Robinson. Tickets are just $50 for adults and $25 for children. Iconic Moves and Melodies, a celebration you don't want to miss. Join us Saturday, March 1st at the Grenada Trade Center. Let's honor the legacy, celebrate the culture, and make it a night to remember.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV. Of course, RP, welcome back once again. I want to ask you this. We do have some callers online now. I'm going to get to them shortly, but I want to ask you this one question. That's for some reason or the other. Of course, the election is called tomorrow. Why should Grenadians trust the NNP to bring, of course, real change and improve their lives? Just in case there's an election called tomorrow, why should folks put that trust back in the NNP once again?
Very, very important question, GT. Let me say that the New National Party, our track record of development and real transformation speaks for itself. So we understand what is governance, we understand the needs of the people, and we don't do it without the involvement of the people. So we can boast about all the programs, the projects that transformed. When you speak about real transformation, you have to speak about a New National Party, and I don't want to start listing, from since in the 90s to know what we have achieved. What we are enjoying today in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of telecommunication, in terms of rural electrification, is as a result of the New National Party led by Dr. Kit Mitchell, our former political leader and former Prime Minister. So our track record speaks for itself. And of course, you know that I am very passionate about youth development. The programs and projects, the level of investment that the New National Party has created for our young people is unmatched. No other administration can speak to that level of investment in our young people. We can also boast about the people we have at the table. We are our party where we mix youth with a nice blend of experience. And that is what we need, because what we are seeing today, the challenges, the problems we are faced today, is as a result of arrogance, ignorance, and maybe inexperience. So we have a blend of youth and experience, and the track record, the history of the New National Party, and that is why we have won 15 seats 3 times, because the Grenadian people has a trust and confidence in us as a party. Yes, we lost the last general election, and that does not mean that we didn't do what we were supposed to do as a government in office. However, there was some false rhetoric that as human being you fall for. Today, people stand to regret. So yes, the New National Party, our track record speaks for itself, and it's the party of choice to move Grenada forward.
All right, thank you so much. Let's take, of course, get some of our callers involved in our conversation this morning. Let's go to the first caller via the WhatsApp. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning, and you're live.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
It takes a very long time to get onto this program. You have to wait a very long time. Quite interesting. Less than 15 minutes for any calls to come in.
Caller, would you go ahead, please? Go ahead, please, with your contribution, please.
However, it is good to see that your guest recognizes as a teacher and as a woman the importance of training and molding minds at a very early time. I wonder if that same teacher can tell us on the question of crime, whether or not those people turned criminals over the last 2.5, 3 years. I'm certain that it would not have been that. It meant that at some stage in those young people's lives, because the crime that was committed was not committed by a 15-year-old, as I understand it. So it says that something was missing years ago with regard to those young criminal minds that we have today. So somebody, some people, some family was responsible for not providing the appropriate training and guidance to those young minds. The representative spoke about Youth Bees project in St. Mark. What was that Youth Bees project about? Where was it located? What building? What structure it had in there? What facilities it had for young people? Could she tell the Grenadian public? She said it is closed. I wonder where that is. I wonder what that provided to the young people of the state of Grenada. You know? Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. A response to the caller? We do have another call online.
Yes. I've always said, GT, that if you are part of something and eventually it's taken away from you, circumstances change, so your situation change as well. We have consistently engaged young people in various training programs, and no one can doubt it. But if you've been involved in training, if you've been engage, and eventually you lose those opportunities, then you start thinking differently, and as a result you do what you're not supposed to do. As it relates to Youth Bees was the name of the Youth Entrepreneurship Program. As a result, we created a Youth Bees Support Center, Youth Bees Hub. It was located downstairs the Alston George Park building, pavilion, that is, in St. Mark. This building was fully equipped. You had a conference room, you had computer equipment, and you had people there who would engage young people. When they come in, they get business plans support, they get training and opportunities to gain financing in collaboration with the Grenada Development Bank. So maybe I don't blame the caller for not knowing. Maybe the caller was not following what used to happen at the time. Thousands of young people benefited from the program. We have evidence to show that a lot of businesses were created. And the Youth Bee Support Center gave them that opportunity for training and financing, mentorship as well. So even when they were provided with grants or they were provided with a loan to establish their own business, we did not leave them on their own. We continued to engage them, monitor, and mentor them to ensure that the business were operated successfully. So the support center was a place that they can go to get that hand holding that they needed to operate successfully, training in marketing operations, financial operations, how to prepare the budget, how to prepare a business plan. That is what we did. We did not only have it at the support center in St. Mark, we had one at the Simon Industrial Center in partnership with GIDC, as stated. We had one that was developed in St. David. It was 98% completed prior to the last election. I don't know what happened to that building now, but caller, I don't blame you for not knowing, but sometimes at least you ask the question.
All right, we do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning, and forgive me for your, I hope for your patience. Good morning. Go right ahead, please.
Good morning, JT.
Good one. Go right ahead.
I want to say something with Ms. Kate. I have a lot of respect for you. But stop coming on the air and trying to fool Grenadian people. When you talk about consultation, how much consultation all you used to have? If all you used to have consultation, all these con men were coming in and go with our money. They would have been stopped. They wouldn't have been able to go with the money. Added to that, you talking about the guy, is Deacon Mitchell responsible for the two guys who killed, the one who killed the next one? Well, let me tell you something about the one that did. I used to coach him. And he and that guy had something since 2017 down in Granada and Portsea, and he's always in that battle with two of them. And the team sent them to kill one another. They had the problem. And look at the result today. We're in 2025. So don't make it look like if it's Keith Mitchell or NDC or Deacon Mitchell, what else we telling people to go and fight and kill one another? All government committees are killing for some reason. Rum is, that's why rum is a nasty thing, not weed. Rum, alcohol. Stop trying to be naive and trying to play good like you're talking good about youth. And then they do nothing good for you. Come on.
Thank you, caller. Have a good morning. Any response to the caller, or should we entertain another? Any response at all?
Let me just say, sometimes callers, we have to be calm and we have to think straight and interpret what is being said. We must listen to understand and not to just attack. I've never blamed any individual. I've stated that if you have been involved in training programs and so on, eventually the opportunities are diminished, then the results would be negative, and that is what we don't want. I've suggested many things that government can do to ensure that young people can be seriously engaged, and that would we spoke about the root causes of the problem. We need to nip it in the bud. So caller, it's not a case of blaming an individual, but you have to remember, when you're in leadership, you don't only take praise for good things. When bad things happen, you have to accept responsibility and try your best to set out policies and programs to curb the issues.
Hey, live, good morning. Caller via WhatsApp, good morning. Which may be our final caller for the morning. Go right ahead, please.
GT, good morning. Good morning, Kate. Yeah, it's nice to see you because you come there like a character. Okay, my thing to you, you said to mention about a program that was created by the NDC. The NDC create, or just give you one, the Creative Art program, and Mikey Live is an example of that. He could tell because Mikey made a post about it. And then also, you talk about, like, say, what they're doing for the youth. We just see the youth selling 50 scholarships from Monroe College. Also, we know Sister Delma launch a program for women. And there are so many I could go on today. We might take the whole evening maybe. You understand? But my question to you, all right? You've been receiving extra $10,000, right? To help with the constituency and stuff. And tell me what you did with that money that improved the life of youths. And then how many money in total that you receive, you know what I mean, to make that change in youth. And another thing I want to ask you again, you know, I heard you on the platform, the Prime Minister traveling, they're doing whatever, like taxpayers' money pay for it, which you guys know. And also tell us about the extra raise that you get, because you guys on platform saying about the government take a raise, but you're not telling us how much the government give to you guys. So then I want you to tell the public today how much money that you guys receiving as the extra. And the last question to you now. Okay, as I mentioned about the traveling and like taxpayers paid for it, but there was a video going on with you in Parliament when we the taxpayers paying you now to do our business and you're shopping online. So like, my question to you now, do you think that you should be paid for that day you was shopping online? Have a good day, GT.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Respond to the caller, MP.
This caller has so many questions. I don't know where to start, and I was not even taking notes. So maybe I would start with the last one first. Caller, my cell phone is a personal device. It's not a government device. And being in Parliament does not restrict us from using our cell phones. Okay, it does not mean we are not participating in the debate at hand. What you should be concerned about is the level of invasion of privacy on my personal device and how you would have felt if it was one of your government ministers or maybe your prime minister or even you. Your privacy was invaded that way. I want you to think about it. You spoke about scholarships. Come on. From administration to administration, these things are routine. So this is nothing new. Okay, you spoke about a new program being launched. It's been launched maybe since November. We are in February, almost to go in March. What has happened? Maybe you can explain that to me, caller. Every time I come on this program, this caller is asking about a 10,000 allowance given to me. I'm going to make it clear to this caller, and this would be the final time I'm speaking about it. I don't personally receive $10,000. All members of Parliament through the Parliament has an allocation that we only get opportunities to approve when constituents come to apply for assistance. We don't get access to this money. We approve based on investigation, based on verification. This money does not come to me, GT. So caller, this is the last time you would be speaking about that. And if you want to know how this money is spent, everything is documented right back to the Parliament. That is where you need to go to get that information. Parliament is responsible for it. We only approve because it's our constituency. We know the constituents, we know their needs. So we verify based on what they apply for and we approve it. And remember, it is not only the MP for St. Andrew Northeast that this allocation is made to the MP's office, but all members of Parliament, including your government ministers.
And we do have a final caller that we're going to accept this morning. And for caller, I beg of you to be brief because you will be your final caller and we have to wrap up. Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to Ms. Kate. And as Ms. Kate rightfully said, this caller never understand he's calling a program. One question. Ms. Kate, we talk about there is a lack of skilled labor. And to me, they blaming the NNP for that. But there's a place called St. Patrick's Multipurpose Training Center. Was built to help young people on the block, people that drop out of school, people that end up didn't go to secondary school. And the NDC came in and changed that school into TAMCC. Hence that, they leave out all the men on the block. They leave out all the men that drop out of school. Delivered all the men that didn't make it to secondary school from learning a skill. We talk about new law. But that school was specialized in St. Patrick's area to train young people to get a skill. And that most people that went to that school, you can talk to the teachers that cut at that time. Most other people own their own business. They're doing well in society. That school was very important at that time, training young people that didn't go to particular areas. Yeah, so that school need to go back into the rightful place of training young people that didn't make it, so we can have a lot of skilled people coming into the workforce. It's the reason of the NDC from Trinidad School, Tillman Thomas especially, into TAMCC, that we have a shortage of labor in the country right now. Have a nice day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. That was our final caller on the program this morning. Below, I'm not sure if you want to, of course, respond to the caller or and also give us some closing contributions this morning. Thank you so much.
Right. So I just want to say at least we do have people who are paying attention and understand what is happening in a country. I always say you can fool some people some of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all of the time. We do have people who are paying attention and they know what is happening. I just want to say thanks very much for another opportunity to engage and to speak about how we as a NMP administration feel about what is happening within our country. We want the government to take responsibility and to be accountable to our taxpayers for how they are spending our money. We want to see young people more engaged, give them the opportunities, give them the platform so that they can thrive better as we prepare them for the future. And as I leave here, I would say the New National Party has a strong track record of development of our country, investing in our young people, and of course the NMP is the party of choice. Thank you and good morning.
I want to say thank you once again also, and best wishes to you goes out for the rest of the day. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Hey folks, that's it. We're going to take a wrap for this edition of To The Point for today. Join me again tomorrow, which will be Government Wednesday here on the program for another edition of To The Point. Let's say goodbye.